Hey you, I'm Sarah Turner. I'm a freelance medical copywriter and a copywriting mentor. And today I want to talk to you about cold emailing in 2019, what you should and shouldn't be doing. So, this is an interesting conversation that I get into with a lot of people because so often I come across people who either have never tried cold emailing or they think cold emailing doesn't work. And I have a lot of reasons and theories behind why that is. First of all, I want to start off with my stance on cold emailing, which is I think it is one of the best ways for a freelance copywriter to find new and awesome ideal clients. And this is because you aren't searching some job board for somebody who's looking for a copywriter or, just scouring the internet for potential gigs here and there, even posting yourself on Upwork, racing to the bottom to get the most competitive pricing. When you cold email, you get to hand select the perfect person that you want to work with, and you get to reach out to them. It's an opportunity to showcase your writing skills and your marketing expertise. It's a good way to offer them value, to establish yourself as a business owner and not an employee, and it really just sets your entire working relationship off on the right foot, again, if you do it the right way. And so I really am a big fan of cold emailing. I have gotten all of my biggest clients from cold emailing. And it's a really great tool. And I want to give you some tips so that your cold emails can be more effective. So when you're reaching out to people for cold emailing, you really got to stop thinking of it as a resume. This isn't a chance for you to send them your portfolio, give them more work to do, and, get them to immediately reject your cold email based on your lack of research and lack of personality. So when you cold email, you want to really think about all the ways that you can help your client. And that is by making their life easier, saving them time, making them more money, helping them get more clients, connecting with their audience better. You can show all of that in your cold email, and you're going to have a lot more success this way. I have reached out to some of my biggest heroes in cold emailing, and I have gotten a response. So I know you can do the same. So here are some of my quick tips. First of all, you want to identify ideal clients. Don't make just a massive list of people that you want to cold email and blast them with the same generic template. That won't work. And when people tell me that cold emailing doesn't work, that's generally what I find out they've been doing. I also get a ton of cold emails, and I actually take the time to respond to each of them with a few tips and tricks to try and better their response rate. So really, identify ideal clients. Take the time to get really specific about who that person looks like. And the more specific you get, the better you're going to be able to cold email them because you're going to be able to get more specific about their business and their values and their goals. But also you are going to end up with a client you genuinely want to work with. So you can start your search by local cities, big cities. Remember, you're working from anywhere, so you don't actually have to be in the same city they're in. You can check out conferences and events. That's a really helpful way of finding people. You can also search Facebook groups, think about maybe where they're hanging out, where they're getting advice. You can also look on Groupon, which is a great tool for seeing people who are trying to actively look for new clients and more business. Another great tool is SimilarWeb, which is a way that you can, put in one person and find some websites that are kind of similar to that first ideal client you found. It's a good idea to kind of find one person and then see what they're doing. Where are they going? What events are they going to? And then from there, you can find more and more people who are going to be ideal clients for you. So that is something that I really recommend. Get super specific about your ideal client, because the more specific you are, the easier and better and more effective this process is going to be. Also, this is why it really helps to have a niche, because this is going to focus your energy and your time, and it's just going to make this whole process much more effective. So after you identify some ideal clients, you want to build an email list. You can use hunter.io for Chrome, which is a great plugin for helping you kind of seek out their email addresses. And, when you do this, remember, I like to say that emails are kind of your way to get into their virtual living room. So when you do that, you want to do it with respect, and you don't want to, you want to show that you've really taken the time to get to know them. And Hunter.io makes it really easy. You can also use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is super helpful at finding email addresses and also searching for just people who would be a perfect fit for you. And then here's a tip that I really want you to really take home. You want to come with value first. That is your focus. Your focus is not, this is who I am, I'm amazing, here's what I've worked for, what I've done in the past. Like, that is secondary. How you can help them is your first and foremost focus. So when you do that, I really recommend creating something that they might want to use themselves. So this could be what's considered an opt-in. An opt-in is generally something people use on their websites as a piece of like free copy or content to give away that they then get an email address. But you're not going to use it that way. But this is just kind of the idea. So when you search for things like, you can Google opt-in ideas and you'll get a lot of ideas of what this giveaway I'm going to recommend you make looks like. So you're going to create a giveaway. Create something that your ideal client would love to give their audience. So for me, I work in the health and wellness space, and one of the giveaways I created was I had found a bunch of speakers at a paleo conference, and what I did was I got all their email addresses, made a list of all the speakers at this paleo conference, and then because I knew they would just be finishing up a paleo conference, I created a paleo recipe book. And it didn't take that long. I used Canva to make it look really pretty and really nice. I actually used some of my personal recipes I've kind of like developed over the years to add a personal touch. And so after I did a basic introduction of, here's how I see, like, here's how I know you. I know you just were at this paleo conference. This is, the space I work in. And here is a piece of really awesome content that I want to give you to go ahead and post on your blog, share in your social media. My name is not on it, so feel free to use it however. And there's a benefit to using a PDF or a giveaway, is that you won't really mess with SEO so much. If you give them a blog post or something like that, and everybody duplicates that actually isn't great for SEO because it's duplicate content. So try and think of like a quick and easy PDF you can create. A checklist, a quiz, a few social media posts, a welcome email sequence for like e-commerce. There's a million ideas. And again, if you search for opt-ins online, you'll get tons and tons of ideas how you can create a giveaway. So think of something that they would really love to give to their audience, and also make it something that's applicable to multiple ideal clients, again, which is why it's a benefit to have a niche. So when you create something of value to give something to someone, not only are you communicating that, one, explain why it's important to create blogs and content and have effective copy with calls to action at the bottom or incorporating SEO, explain your marketing knowledge, and then be like, well, bam, this is my thing that I'm going to give you to show you that I understand marketing, that I show up and bring value first, that I give before asking, and it really triggers what's called reciprocity in us. When somebody gives you something, you are much more likely to give them back something else, like your time or a 15-minute consult or a first project as a trial run. So think about something that you can give your ideal client that's valuable first. Don't go into it just talking about yourself and your credentials, because that is just not going to work and it's not going to make you stand out. And then when it comes to actually writing the cold email itself, really personalize it. Include the business name, include personalized recommendations based on what you've found. Maybe they haven't updated their blog in a long time. Maybe they have nowhere where they're collecting email addresses for email marketing. Maybe they don't have calls to action on any of their website. Maybe you can tell that they don't have SEO incorporated throughout their website. Anything you can see that you can add to show that you actually took the time to look into their business. I get cold emails actually all the time for people, because I'm an advocate for freelance copywriters and, breaking out of content mills and standing on your own 2 feet and having a rock solid business. And I get cold emails all the time from content mills that are like, hey, you want to shovel some writers our way? We're going to pay them like 2 cents for a 1,000-word article, or we're doing landing pages for $25. And I'm just like, did you not look at my business? My entire business is about empowering freelance writers. I would never work with you. But I don't say that because, but I just, I politely point out like, hey, if you took the time to familiarize yourself with my business, you'd probably notice that we're not a good fit. So you don't want to do that because it's a waste of your time and energy. But yeah, so another great thing actually that I want to point out about cold emailing and why it's so amazing is so often these people don't know that you are who they need. So when you show up and you bring value and they see that you're amazing and you're well knowledged in marketing, even if you're kind of faking it till you make it, or, learning as you go, which is totally cool. You do not need to be like an absolute expert to get started. They might not know they're looking for a copywriter. So it's a good idea to go ahead and reach out. Also, you might think that they have a copywriter already, but they might be doing it themselves. And it is extremely time consuming to write really good copy. So don't not reach out because you think they already have good website copy or anything like that, or their Facebook posts are amazing, or their landing pages are amazing. Like, it's still worth reaching out because they could be doing it themselves. You have no idea what's going on the other side of that screen. So yeah, so when you're actually writing it, personalize it, offer value, and then at the very end of your cold email, like with 1, 2, 3, max 4 sentences, you can say, hey, this is who I am. I specialize in your niche. I'm going to make you look amazing. We're going to crush business together. Here's my website so you can check out my portfolio pieces. And hey, just to save you some time, I'm going to include one portfolio piece I think you'd be especially interested in because it is relevant to your business. And then wrap it up with a strong call to action. Don't send a cold email out without saying, hey, do you have time for a 15-minute consult where we can talk about your business goals and I can show you how, like, the recommendations I have for you? And that's where you can just drop a quick Calendly link so that they can schedule very quick and easy a 15-minute consult. Another thing I do not recommend is any form of questionnaire or something they have to fill out. You really, really, really want to save them time. So don't make more work for them. Make this really easy. Give it a one big package that they can just beautifully unwrap and be super excited to receive. That should be what your cold email is. And this is also the reason you don't really need a ton of experience to be a copywriter. You can start cold emailing as you're learning, and you can work your way up to bigger and bigger clients. It is such a good tool, and I really, really encourage anyone, especially if you're like stuck on Upwork and really struggling, like, take the time to think about considering cold emailing for your future business. Like, you can really grow this. And again, as a writer, you really only need like 10 or so clients to make a really great income and to have a thriving business. So I recommend starting with like 20 to 25 cold emails every day. But that is if you really want to ramp up work. And eventually, the great thing about cold emailing is you won't always have to be doing it. If you continue to show up, if you continue to just bring a ton of value every time you work with clients, and you're all about building and growing long-term relationships, you're eventually going to start getting referrals. So cold emailing is not forever, but I still cold email from time to time. I have had people where I'm like, wow, that is a perfect person, or how inspiring is that brand? I would love to work with them. And so I'll randomly send one-off cold emails with people I want to get in touch with. And it works. It really does. You'd be so surprised at the kind of response you'll get, especially if you do it with all of these thoughts in mind. Another great bonus tip is to tap into their reticular activating system. So your reticular activating system, thank you, is the part of your brain, like, remember when you buy a new car, or you get something and all of a sudden you see it everywhere. Like, you just bought this new car, you never noticed it before, and now everybody's driving the same car as you. That's because your brain is wired to notice patterns. So this bonus tip includes tapping into their reticular activating system. What do you have in common? What have they done recently? Like, remember I mentioned that paleo conference? I mentioned that they had just spoken at the paleo conference. I was like, hey, hope you had a great time at that paleo conference. I'm like, sure, your speech was amazing. I obviously worded it a little bit more eloquently than that. But I tapped into something that was really relevant to their life because they were and I sent them out right after the conference ended. So it was something that was fresh on their mind. Their mind was open to receiving information that was relevant to that conference. So, I didn't meet any of those people, and I didn't say I did, but the fact that I even knew that they were there speaking at it meant that I was paying attention to their business and their brand, and they were so receptive. I got so many responses from that one batch of cold emails. So these are my tips for cold emailing. If you think that cold emailing doesn't work, I really challenge you to look at your process. It's working for hundreds of my students right now. They're constantly surprised and amazed at the kinds of responses they get, and also that they're getting to work with some of their heroes. Like, that is the most exciting thing about cold emailing, is when you reach out to somebody who is your absolute hero and they respond with like, heck yes, let's get the ball rolling. So add cold emailing to your bag of tricks. It is so powerful when done correctly, and I hope this helps. You can totally build a freelance writing business that is sustainable and predictable, and something that you can live off of. There's no need to have a race to the bottom with job boards and etc. and Upwork and Fiverr. If I could just shake those, I would. But so I hope this helps, and if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, share in the comments. Any questions you might have, I respond to all of them. Definitely let me know if you want to see anything else in the future. This was actually, somebody had commented about having a video on this, so this was a direct result of your YouTube comments. So go ahead and drop those in there so I can get feedback and I can make these videos better for you. And of course, hit subscribe because I'm releasing videos weekly. And yeah, I'm here for you. You can do it.